It is 8 o'clock on the East Coast. It is 5 o'clock on the West Coast. It is the 19th of March in the year of our Lord 2026, season 16, episode 37, 758 times. You have been welcome to the Clubhouse Podcast, our one-stop shop for all things sports, entertainment, pop culture, and pro wrestling. Welcome. My name is Rob. I am the executive producer of the Clubhouse Podcast, and we have our second in a series of t-shirts this week. Shout out to Quick Draw T-shirts, who does a great job. Find them at a convention near you. Don out on assignment tonight, but over that way from me is my co-host and a man, I'm assuming, who's paying more attention to the NIT. He is Alex. Oh, because I'm looking at the shirt and FAU didn't get in, so I'm assuming they're in the NIT, right? Oh, hold on. Now go.
You muted me through the program. Got it. I have not paid much attention because it's one of those where it's like when you do not get into the dance, you have to dial it back just a little bit and focus on the bracket, which I was perfect up until McNeese State.
It has been a heck of a day, and we're going to talk all about it here in just a minute. But just to give you some updates, I listened back to the Retro Expo episode, and I want to apologize ahead of time. There's some kind of a compression issue with StreamYard, and stuff was just cutting in and out.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So changes are coming. I'm thinking with some of the changes, we may be able to solve some of those problems, but you will know more in the coming weeks, and we're going to talk about that later. But this past weekend, I was at Hill Country Comic-Con. Had a great time, but I want to give you a couple more updates from some we talked about at Retro, or actually we talked about last week. I now have both covers for Tomorrow Girl number 13. This is the issue that I am in a panel of towards the back. So look for these at your local comic retailer, and if they don't have them, demand it.
Shout out Terry.
Yeah, thank you, Terry. And then we're looking
Hill
to do
Country. Hill Country is the one that you have openly spoken very highly of at the HEB Center, correct?
No, that is Greater Austin.
I had that mixed up.
No, Cedar Park. Cedar Hills here. Cedar Park is there. Yeah, that's where the Spurs G League team and the Stars minor league team play.
Oh, okay.
And we don't have the official announcement for dates yet. I'm waiting on that. So as soon as I get that,
I definitely want to try and get down to that one with the setup, how you've talked about it. Plus, it's Austin, and they get a lot of very cool guests.
So Hill Country was really awesome this weekend. Had a blast down there. Shout out to Vo and Brian and everybody for putting on an amazing show. Got to go to Spud Ranch, so I'm happy. Traffic sucked. Took me 7 hours each way when it should have taken me 4.
Yikes.
Alex texted me Monday morning at about noon, and he's like, how you feeling? I'm like, well, I've been home about 12 hours, if that tells you anything. Yeah.
And what did I say?
Oh, you told me.
I said, I'm not texting anymore. You rest up.
No, you apologize for waking me up, and I told you didn't. I've been awake for about an hour. The problem is my brain wouldn't let me keep sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem I'm having as I'm getting older. When I was a kid, my mother used to joke with people, yeah, on the weekends, he gets up at the crack of noon, and she's not wrong. By the way, Mom's in town next weekend, so
that'll be fun.
Yeah. We'll still have our show because she doesn't fly until Friday. So I just looked, and I don't think we're going to have another week out, probably until the special edition in May.
Yeah.
So we're on a streak.
Yeah.
But I want to show you a couple of things that happened at Hill Country. First of all, good friend of the show, Roberto Rivera Padro was there. So I did get my Turtles box set autographed. You can see it right there. He signed it in blue because Leo's my favorite. I also wanted to show you guys their artwork. I told you he and Matt Frank worked on the cover art. That's one of the things. They did this cover right here.
Such a cool cover.
Looks great, doesn't it? This is what the first film looks like.
Oh, Raph in the trench coat.
And if you flip it over, it's the poster for the movie. It's reversal.
Oh, that's cool.
And we're going to talk about Arrow Video here in a little while too.
Mm-hmm.
They made a huge announcement today. This is what number 2 looks like.
Very colorful.
And this is what the third film looks like.
I like to pretend like that one didn't happen.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool artwork, though.
Great artwork, though.
So, and it also comes with, because we didn't unbox this last week, a fold out poster, and it's pretty full size, dude. I don't know if I can get it in the camera shot. It's not full size, but it's probably half scale. One side is the poster for the first film, which I used to have on my wall in my bedroom in high school, and this is the other side.
Oh, please back up just a little bit from that. I want to see all of the training.
You had this in your box set. I'm letting you know, like outside of the artwork,
magic of video.
I know. I'm just saying, outside of the artwork, everything else is the same.
Yeah.
And it comes with this book. It's a cool little booklet from Roy's Pizzeria in Greenwich Village. Has the prices on the back, and just cool like essays and stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
And inside the discs, there are trading cards and other things. Like there's a frequent diner card for the pizzeria.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool. But that's not all that Roberto did for me. Because Roberto's my dude. He did a great Q&A with friend of the show, Gino. Shout out to Gino, who handled the AV. They were talking just about, his work and stuff. And some kid asked a question. The audience asked him, who inspired him. They ended up bringing the kid up on stage, and the kid ended up pretty much running the Q&A for the rest of the time. But he was also getting rid of a bunch of stuff. This is one of the things he did for me.
Oh, wow.
How dope is that?
Is that modeled off of the Dark Knight series? And I don't mean the Nolan one.
I don't know for sure. It just says Little Gotham on it. But
you get what I mean by the thicker, older looking Batman. Yeah.
Oh, you're thinking Dark Knight Returns, yeah.
Yes. And I was trying to think of Frank Miller, but
yeah. Can't have Batman and not have Robin.
There you go.
Also this weekend, I saw a friend of the show, McKenna Michaels with Moose. I couldn't remember because there's 3 different covers for her comic book that is called Survivor. It's based on one of her songs. She is a local Austin musician. So I got all 3 covers of that to go out there and check it out. We're waiting on issue 2. Bo's been working on that. Also got issue 3 from friend of the show, Dan Price from Homebrewed Comics. This is issue 3 of Bigfoot Knows Karate, which I'm very excited to read. I don't know if it's this one or the next one where Bigfoot gets blamed for killing Odin.
Interesting. But at that same time, what's the voice in your head when you say Bigfoot Knows Karate?
I hear Keanu Reeves. I know Kung Fu.
See, I feel like I have heard Jack Black say that exact phrase, Bigfoot Knows Karate, in something. Maybe going all the way back to the Tenacious D HBO series.
Could be.
But I cannot unhear Jack Black going, Bigfoot Knows Karate.
Also, met a new friend from Battle Chi Comics. This is his series called Black Fist. This is one of the first pitched as one of the first black superheroes. That's his autograph that he did for me. I'm looking forward to reading this. There's some really cool covers, that alternate covers that he had for it. Here's one.
Oh, that's cool.
Here's another one. Here's another one. I like this one the best.
Yeah, very classic.
And he has another one. It's called, I can't read it right there. It says New Tokyo Ninja.
Okay.
Reading. So we want to send a shout out to Isaac Edwards and Cairo Rocha, who did all that good stuff. And then I also want to send out my buddy Gino that did the AV. He's with Bat City Toys. If you look really closely at that logo, it's really cool.
Yeah, I can see like just a little bit of the skyline included. Yeah. It looks cool.
For those that you don't know, Austin is also called Bat City because they have bats under a bridge that fly out every night. So, but I also, I got to show you this. So I saw this booth and I was like, that's kind of cool. And he had a special for 3. And so I got 3. You see this?
My
you know
favorite. Sorry.
Do you know what this is?
Yes, my favorite one of those is Angry Terry Crews.
I've never seen this before. This is a sticker you put over the front of your debit or credit card if all your stuff's on the back. So I got this one. Somebody said something about a month ago on Facebook, and it's lived in my head rent-free ever since because I'm 52 and I never thought of this before. In the intro to the Flintstones, how strong is that waitress that brings the brontosaurus ribs? Because she just walks out holding it, and when she puts it on the car, it tips the car over.
Well, there's two levels to that. There's also, how is she carrying it? And it tips over 2 steamroller level marble granite wheels.
Never thought of it. Now it lives rent free in my head. Then I got this one.
I believe, hold on. Well, yeah, that's also too. I believe there is an actual fanfic series about how she was the first female superhero, but because in those times they weren't allowed. Nice. And it was like Barbariana or something like that. I don't know why that's in my head, but I feel like that existed.
And I got this one.
Oh, I like that. That's the classic card from when they did the one shots, the character shots. I loved it.
And I saved this for last because, as you know, I had panels this past weekend with some great people, and I don't want to screw this up. So give me just one moment to go back to that tab. So actually, I'm going to save that one for the end. Trisha Peters Moon, who lives in Austin, she was the stunt double for Michelle Pfeiffer in Batman Returns.
You told me about this.
She was also in. She's got Deadwood cred.
Mm-hmm.
She was in Lethal Weapon 4.
Okay.
She does acting work too. She was in Army of Darkness. She was the lady that got turned at the end in the store.
Oh, okay.
And she did work in Hook.
Okay. Which
connects to the other person I'm going to talk about. She also acted in Mars Attacks. She was the Martian who had the gun to Jack Nicholson's head.
We're back to Jack Black.
And she had some awesome stories to tell. She also did stunt work in the Double Dragon movie.
Okay. Is there a movie that you were more excited for that turned out to be so terrible?
You're not wrong.
And we genuinely love multiple people involved in that movie.
She was also in a movie called Legion, and we've got everything.
I love that movie. There's too
many movies called Legion. You have to think of it being the right one.
Okay, then test to me.
This is the one that has hold on. Not Corey Haim, the other one.
Not Corey. Oh, you're talking about Feldman?
Yes.
Okay. That's a different Legion than I was thinking.
Yeah, because she said that right, because not the one you think.
Yeah. Well, because there's like 3 different ones that I like. I don't think I've even seen that one.
So, and then I got to interview Samantha Newark, who is the voice of Jem from Jem and the Holograms.
You were very excited for her.
Very awesome. This is what I got from her. This is one of her albums.
Whoa.
And it's called Hologram. But wait, there's more. I also got the remix album. She could not have been more fun to work with. She was. I got very, very nice remarks from everybody involved. So I want to thank everyone. Excellent. Josh was there. Moose was there. Our cosplayers were amazing. So Burton Gilliam was there. So I got to see Burton.
As he is with most of them.
Well, you know, I actually learned something I didn't know about Burton.
Go on.
He did a voiceover for a commercial in the early 2000s. If I say the words, "get a rope," does that mean anything to you?
Remember the El Paso?
It was paste pecani sauce.
Paste. That's right. Not old
New
El
York
Paso.
City. Get a rope. That was Burton.
Yeah, he was the New York City guy. I remember that.
No, he was the guy that said, get a rope.
Oh, the guy that's in there that says New York City looks exactly like him in my mind.
But no, he said he did the VO for it. So, but a great time at Hill Country.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks again to everybody for having me. I appreciate it more than y'all know. And Alex and I are working on some stuff that we're hoping maybe we can expand this empire a little bit on the moderating front. So,
just a little.
If you are somebody, or you know somebody, or you know somebody who knows somebody that is a promoter of a comic show or anything that needs panel moderating, and you need that taken care of, reach out to me, Rob at the clubhousepodcast.com. We're actually going to have some new stuff coming. I'm going to start posting a lot more of the Q&As that I've done, and we're going to do some branding. It's going to be fun. All right. Let us get into the meat and potatoes, my friends. That took a little bit longer than I wanted to, but it's our show. We do what we want.
I have a microphone and you don't.
Exactly. The tournament is underway.
Mm-hmm.
I was today old when I found out that HBO Max does not have an app on the Windows Store. I had to watch.
That is surprising.
I watched the HBO stuff in a browser, which is not that big of a deal because I can still watch it. But
still surprising.
Yeah. And given the way things are going, Paramount Plus does. So I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Well, they've already said that everything's getting rolled into Paramount. And I was like, oh, good. The worst one.
Yeah. But they do have, right now I've got HBO Max on the studio TV as I've got the multi-view up, which.
Same.
Even though today I had 4 different screens going at one point because I liked having them all in full screen.
I will say I miss my theater today. I really did.
Yeah, I was very upset that you were not at home today, but I understand why. Down goes Badger, mushroom. High Point College, first win ever. I love what their coach said afterwards. Did you see the
yes.
We're not here to win 1. We're here to win 6, and I respect it. You ain't gonna do it, but I respect it.
Well, did you hear the full promo he cut on all these teams that don't want to play us during the season? Now they don't got a choice. He basically went full Rorschach. He went full Rorschach of, we're not in the dance with you. You're in the dance with us.
I didn't have audio till later in the day because I had to watch Bob and Tom this morning, and then I had to finish catching up on wrestling. I had to watch Dynamite today. So I had audio on that, but I had the other screens out on the games, and it timed itself perfectly because everything ended just in time for the third game for me to need the third screen. USF was down as much as 23 at one point in a valiant effort. It did not work out for my Bulls. I just want to say to Ziggy, first of all, shout out to Ziggy because he's doing a great show, and we'll talk more about why later. But Ziggy, if you're listening or you're watching, tell Bree not to poop on my college. I'm actually going to text him and tell her to do that. I'm going to tell him to tell her that on his show. Check out Beer 30 Sports O'Clock, too. All the great shows here.
Absolutely.
On DFW. Duke got a little bit of a scare with Siena going big in the first half, and then they go like 8 minutes without a point. When you do that, I don't care how much you lead by, you are going to lose.
But you saw exactly why this happened the way it did you not?
Go ahead.
Siena did not make a substitution
until
there was 18 seconds
was it
left.
That long?
18 seconds left.
That kid from High Point who hadn't made a 2 all year and finally makes his first. Granted, he was like, what? He made almost 100 threes or something crazy like that.
The best one I saw was him hitting the near half court shot and then somebody just going, well, I guess I wouldn't shoot for 2s either if I could do that.
Well, and to me, when I saw that, my first thought was, well, when Siena did it late in the first half, I was like, because he shot from the logo. And I was like, why? Like that. I mean, granted, the ball went in, so it paid off. But your risk reward from a shot like Caitlin Clark, you are not, my friend. Let me
know what? If you make it, though.
Yeah, but in the first half, Are you just bored? And plus,
Or
you're playing Duke, bro.
That's just your game.
You're playing Duke. You don't want to give them any quarter because look what happens when you play a team that has been there more times than I can count. And right now, looking at the scores, A&M up by 5 over St. Mary's in the first half. 3 minutes left. Also, Texas giving BYU all it can handle. They're up by 7. And VCU is not doing well against North Carolina.
But before we get too far away from this, the point, though, against Duke, maybe these smaller schools, the key is you need to hit threes because you need to score 3 while they score 2.
I mean, granted, I'm not going to do that. Speaking of talking about things of this nature and the 3 and the 2 and history, I want to apologize to everybody that I told I was going on the OG last week. I didn't realize the OG was a Patreon thing. But there's a couple of clips out there that I've reposted when I got to hang out with Reiner and Groobs. So let's see here. Let's get into the NBA as the tournament rages on. This was the first time I was able to sit down and watch all the games in about 2 decades.
Oh, wow.
Usually I'm just catching highlights.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the first time I've been able to sit down, probably since I worked at the sports bar.
Yeah.
You know? Southeast Conference in the NBA, because the Washington Wizards are in the Southeast.
And we're not allowed to call them that for obvious reasons now.
They're on a 13-game skid right now.
Yeah, it's Washington.
They have a point differential of minus 11, dude, in the NBA.
Yeah, but it's the NBA.
I mean, they're averaging 112 points, 113 points a game in this league. And what's sad, though, is the team leading the division is only averaging 3 points more than they are.
Well, but it's the NBA. You'll have those people that are like, oh, we're playing Washington. Just rest all the starters. We know we're still going to win, but it'll be by like 2. And then Washington wins by 15 and completely kills their differential.
They're 2-12 in the division. They are currently 18.5 games back of Charlotte. The Hornets are 3 back of Atlanta. The Hawks in Miami are tied, and they're both a half game back on Orlando. Again, I live in a world where the Heat are chasing Orlando. Can I please go back to my timeline? In the Atlantic,
you know what? Our timeline had them chasing Shaq, but that was 30 years ago as well.
Yeah. In the Atlantic Division, the Brooklyn Nets, they're 29 games back. They're terrible. They are 20 back on the 76ers. Philly now 2.5 back on Toronto. Toronto's now 5 back on the Knicks, and Daryl's beloved Knicks are only a game and a half back on Boston. They're on a 4-game heater. In the Central Division, the Pacers still continue their free fall. They've won 15 games this year, and they're 35 back. They are 10.5 back of... I'm sorry, they're 13.5 back of Chicago. And the Bulls are a half game back of Milwaukee. However, the Bucks are almost 14 games back of Cleveland. Cleveland now 7.5 back of Detroit Pistons, former champs of basketball. Oh, did I mention that the Indiana Pacers have lost 15 in a row?
Not surprising.
Between them and Washington, that's half the season. In the Southwest Division of the Western Conference, the Dallas Mavericks, they're not good. They are 28.5 games back. They're a game back of Fly Pelican. New Orleans, a game back of Memphis. Memphis now, 16.5 games back of Houston. The Rockets are now 9.5 back of San Antonio. In the Northwest Division, Utah, not doing well. They are 34.5 games back of first place. They are, 13.5 back of Portland. Portland's 8 back of Denver. Denver's a game back of Minnesota. Unfortunately, Oklahoma City still runs the world, and we're just paying rent because they're on a 10-game heater, and they've already locked in a playoff spot because they're 12 games up in the division. And we've played 70 games, kids. In the Pacific Division, Sacramento, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. They're 26.5 back. They're 15.5 back at Golden State. Golden State is a game back on the Clippers. Clippers 5 back on Phoenix. And the Suns are 5 back on the Lakers. Let's go to the NHL real quick. Dun, 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 dun. You didn't need to refresh because nothing was going to change, my friend. Oh, now I hate it when it does. Like, I get why it does that, but when no games have been played since I opened the browser, don't worry about it. You know, because it defaults to the playoffs tab, and that drives me nuts.
Yeah,
kind of like the pirate.
Well, I think that depends on what you're using for your source, and I know you're very loyal to your source.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's like the pirate who once had a steering wheel on his belt, and they asked him why, and he said, "It drives me nuts." In the Atlantic Division, the Florida Panthers. What is going on in Miami? I don't know. I'm sorry. What's going on in Sunrise? Because let's be real, they play in Sunrise. Nobody plays in Miami but the Marlins. Because even the Dolphins play in Miami Gardens.
And even the Marlins thing is a relatively recent change.
Yeah, the Heat do play in Miami because they're at Bayside. So, but still. The Panthers are currently 21 points out of first place.
That doesn't surprise me.
We've only got 16 games left to play.
Yeah.
They're a point behind Toronto. Maple Leafs are 7 back on Ottawa. The Senators are 5 back on Detroit, who are tied with Boston, but they're both 2 back of the Montreal Canadiens.
Oh.
Thank you, sir. With on out on assignment.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to do it classy, though.
Actually, I heard the whole thing from you, too. Which
that's also true.
We got to get him fixed down there.
That means so many things, just saying that sentence.
Stop it. Montreal 2 back on the Lightning. The Lightning now only 4 back on the Sabres. And now where?
The Metropolitan Division.
Thank you, sir. The Rangers at 64 points. They are 28 points out of first place. Don't think they're going to make the playoffs. They are 8 points back on New Jersey. Devils are 4 back on Washington, who are Caps are tied with Philly. They're both 5 back on Columbus. The Blue Jackets are 2 back on the Islanders, who are only a point back on Pittsburgh right now. Pittsburgh 4-3-3 in their last 10, but they are 8 points back on Carolina. Give the kids in Carolina something to celebrate. Dadgummit.
Well, every season we have the exact same thing. Is Carolina not the most baffling situation of a well-run organization?
They got a cup, though.
I'm sorry?
Don't they have a cup?
I believe they have more than one.
But I'm just saying.
No. But what I'm saying is it's baffling because you're like, okay, great run organizations. You can't argue with the Dodgers how they're being run. You just cannot like how it is. But the Hurricanes in Carolina are consistently good, consistently well ran. You don't hear about too many blow-ups within the organization or anything. They just win games. That's it.
Western Conference Pacific Division, the Vancouver Canucks. They got 50 points right now. They're 11 points back of Calgary. Flames are 9 back on San Jose. The Sharks are currently a point back on the Kings. Kings. What happened there?
That's my fault. That's totally my fault. I was trying to go to a solo and I fat fingered and hit you to remove from stage. Totally on me.
Okay. Let's see. Kings and Kraken are currently 5 back on Vegas. Knights are a point back on Edmonton. Edmonton now a point behind the division-leading Anaheim Ducks. And in the Central Division that has no Eastern or Western, the Chicago Blackhawks are still terrible. They are 26 points out of first place. They're 3 points back of St. Louis. St. Louis is 2 back of the Jets. Winnipeg 2 back on Nashville. The Predators are now 7 back on Mammoth. Put an S on that.
Mm-hmm.
Utah is now 14 points back of Minnesota. The Wild is 6 back of Dallas. Dallas has now narrowed because Colorado on a 3-game skid. Dallas is 8-1-1 in their last 10 after winning 10 straight. They are now only 2 points back on Colorado for leading the division.
And Colorado had such a lead to start.
I know. But that's the thing about the NHL, because you get 2 points for a win. So you can narrow the gap quickly.
Well, I mean, even if you're just competitive, the overtime loss is still a point since there's no ties as well. As long as you're competitive, you kind of get points.
Let's play North America's favorite game show.
Actually, I mean, that means you didn't get the text. I need to address people who wanted to talk smack after last week's America's Favorite Game Show.
Okay, but before we get that, I tell you don't text me during the show because I don't pay attention.
This is gonna make sense.
Okay.
Do not text me on any platform to say, I can't believe you guys were over. You know the number for today is only 72. I want you to get punched in the throat.
My response to that, we have had this discussion. And you got to some point, you get to a point where it's like, look, you spoil one more thing, I got to block you.
Yeah, I do normally, but let's just say there's some tangential or some ties that bind that I'm going to have to remove messaging on its own at some point, but just don't do this. Don't try to jump into a bit.
That is the number.
I know it is. That's why I'm saying it. It's I don't want to pretend like, oh, I got it just right.
I appreciate that. I respect it. This show prides itself on being spoiler free. So if you're trying to be that guy, trust when I say blocking you I ain't gonna lose sleep.
Hey, Rob, scale of 1 to 10. How much joy do I take in blocking people?
I'm just saying, like,
exactly.
I had to say that to somebody recently on a text message where I specifically said, hey, man, I have not watched said show. Oh, okay, cool. And then 10 minutes later, asking about something that happened on said show. And I had to say the words, I don't want to have to block you. Because I don't want to block people. But if you're just gonna do that kind of thing and you're gonna be a hole, then I have to.
That's my job on the show.
Well, plus the fact of I choose how much I get things spoiled. That's my choice, not yours. And if you think it's your choice, because I had a friend of the show who deleted one of his best friends because a movie came out and he said, if you spoil this, I will delete you. And this fool, who again was his best friend, did it. And he was like, and his reasoning was, I just want to be that guy. Well, you can be that guy down the street because I ain't got time for it.
I ain't got long arms, but if you're inside of that reach, you're getting it.
People that come to me for spoilers, I say, first of all, I'm not doing it publicly. So if you really want to know, you talk to me offline, because I cannot hold myself to a standard that I cannot hold someone else to. It drives me to the brink that people just want to spoil things for people. Like the fact that they have to say that at screenings, it just makes me sad.
Yeah.
If you want to talk to people offline, that's between you and your God. But understand, the online community, I always say, from airing, 72-hour moratorium. If you haven't watched it by that point, you're rolling dice. I still don't want to do it. But I can almost understand it after 70. I used to be 24. I've gone up to 72. Just because if it's Friday, you got to wait the weekend.
Yeah. Plus, there's anything that could happen in a day or two.
Exactly. Like, let people, it's just like, when I'm watching pro wrestling, I don't want to be on social media because it's like, because I watch on delay.
And the big thing there also is, if you're going to ask us about movies, what do I know about something like that? www.theclubhousepodcast.com/reviews. Go there.
Yeah, and make sure you put the /reviews in it right now, because for some reason the website's not behaving itself. And when you click on the tab, it just goes back to the homepage. And it wears me out. Wix, fix it.
Yeah.
Let's get into
now
TV.
That we've got that out.
TV and stuff we watched this week. I didn't, outside of getting caught up on wrestling programming and Jeopardy and Bob and Tom, we'll talk about a couple things I did watch, but I'll save it for later in the segment.
Well, I have a couple of them. I continue to be amazed at shrinking as it moves along. But I wound up with the same circumstance with two different shows. Remember a couple of weeks ago where I said I finished Gen V and I was like, I don't know if they're going to do another season, but then they wrap it up the way they do. And it's like, oh, right, The Boys only has one more season. They're not doing anything else. The way the new season of Ted ends is perfectly definitive.
Okay.
And still hilarious, still going completely off the rails. And Seth MacFarlane is Bill Clinton. That's all I'm going to say.
I feel your pain.
Oh, no. You need to go see this before somebody spoils that for you, even if it's only that episode.
I may down the road.
I'm just saying that it goes very differently than you expect.
Last week, we said on this show that announcement was coming on Sunday. I don't get to say smartest man alive very much anymore. But the cast of Firefly was teasing something. They were at a convention this weekend, and I was right, as Nathan Fillion at 9 a.m. Eastern on Sunday. Like this, the crazy part was I had to Google it. I was going through my social media feed. Nobody was reporting anything.
I didn't believe a moment of it. I had to find the Fillion feed.
And we are getting a Firefly animated series. The entire cast is returning. It is in development. We don't know much more than that.
There has been the rumor of certain episodes that did not get shot for the original iteration being first up, but I can tell you with fair certainty, knowing a couple of those scripts, those will not lead it off. And hopefully Fox doesn't do it out of order this time.
Well, and if they do pursue a couple of things they were supposed to in season 2, this ain't going to be a real lighthearted thing, kids.
No, those are the ones I'm talking about. I am referring specifically to River's backstory.
Well, there's another thing too.
Yes.
Anara.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. HBO Max TBS TNT has renewed Neighbors for season 2.
It's so disturbing.
So, Hulu, Fox, Disney Plus.
We need words. We need acronyms here.
If you want to watch someone rant on a very zen level, I submit for your approval Sarah Michelle Gellar. She goes to the internet last week because it is now official that the Buffy reboot has been canceled.
Mm-hmm.
And she had some HSOs, brother.
She's allowed to have them at that point.
Well, apparently one of the things she said was there was an executive that prided him. She didn't name it, but prided himself on the fact saying he's never watched an episode of the show and he really didn't care.
Then why are you here, bro?
What's the answer to all your questions?
Money.
There you go. So for those of you waiting on that Buffy reboot, it is not going to happen unless somebody else picks it up. I also wonder how much this has to do with the merger.
I wouldn't be surprised if that has a big effect.
So just keep your eyes open, kids. Netflix is bringing a new show. It is called This is a Gardening Show. And it will be hosted. Because when I tell you, have you seen this headline?
Yes, I have.
Because when you see,
I was trying to keep it together. I was trying.
Like you see that and you're like, it's kind of generic. But then when you find out it's being hosted by Zach Galifianakis, it makes sense.
So the ferns are no longer in pots.
They might not be. We actually, one of my former bosses looks a lot like him, especially when he grows his beard out.
Oh, you've told me about this, yes.
And we were going to do a video with him, like a Between Two Ferns video with him and one of our VPs, and he was going to sell the bit the whole time.
No.
Like, I want this in the worst. Do you like stuff? Like, I wanted that in the worst way.
No. Nothing will ever top him and McConaughey. That nothing will ever top Between Two Ferns with Matthew McConaughey.
You need to go binge that again.
So do I.
Peacock, NBC, Universal, they have canceled Access Hollywood. And NBC and Universal are paring down their non-proper series. So anything that they have syndicated, they're just slashing and burning. And Access Hollywood, after like 18 seasons,
I don't know anybody that actually watched that show, but we all know of it. We all flipped past it.
It comes from a time like Entertainment Tonight.
True.
Where that's how you got your entertainment news. When I was a kid, it was Entertainment Tonight, and there was a thing called PM Magazine.
Yep.
And I don't know if that was a South Florida thing or if that was nationwide. That was where you got your entertainment news from. There was no internet, or you had to buy a magazine, and by that point, the news was a week old anyway, at a minimum. So
for me, I was always an E-entertainment devotist. So Access Hollywood never came in.
Say it correctly. Because that's how
I'm not going to remember. I'm the one that when I do that, your ears hurt.
Yeah. I remember E when it was movie time. Before it became. They would show music videos related to movie soundtracks and trailers. And back when Alan Havey had his show, God rest his soul, we love Alan Havey. But yeah, that's. Remember earlier when I said I want to go back to my timeline?
Yes. For the record, PM Magazine was national.
Okay, good. Another thing that I want to take the last couple of weeks with me back to my timeline. SNL killing it for a second week in a row.
Remind me who was on this week?
Harry Styles and Harry Styles.
That's right. That's why it was weird.
The cold open was a family going to get gas. And in the middle, they do a freeze frame, and the guy that plays our president comes out. Normally, giggle, giggle, giggle. But I feel like now SNL has realized that one of the main things people watch that show for is how they break each other.
Oh, yeah. The unexpected.
So he tears down the fourth wall. Talks about Marcelo. He's like, you see Marcelo still back there, still playing children all the time. And then he goes, and over here, Ashley Padilla, last name, you'd think she's Mexican, but look at her. She's as white as she could possibly be. And she almost just falls over laughing. And that guy, the guy that plays Trump, he's got 3 names. He's the voice of the Buffalo in the Buffalo Wild Wings commercials. I learned that on Jeopardy this week.
I always thought that was Will Arnett.
No.
Huh.
Harry Styles' monologue was really, really good. I can't. The show worked. I do want you to write this down, Alex, because I want you to look up this sketch. Just write down Sparkle of the Seas.
Sparkle of the Seas.
It's Chloe Fineman and Harry Styles doing an infomercial for a German cruise ship. I was crying by the end of it. Harry Styles, like, some of his music I get and some of it I don't, but I'm also not his target audience, as you could tell from the monologue by the young girls that were screaming the entire time. But I thought both of his performances were good.
James Austin Johnson.
That's him. They did a sketch where he was a drive-through attendant at a White Castle. He was a high school guy, and these 2 girls kept circling that White Castle to try to ask him to a dance. Brilliant. And then they did a music video. And then I want you to look this one up too. And I hope that I hope when you pull it up, the title doesn't spoil it, because when I saw it, it did.
Okay.
It's just called She's a Dancer.
Okay.
They knocked it out of the park 2 weeks in a row. I don't know if we've had a Control-Alt-Delete in the writer's room. There's a sketch of Harry Styles and Kenan Thompson work at a Best Buy that gets unstable, but it's still funny. I will tell you this. we have a return of a very obscure Kenan Thompson character in the Sparkle of the Seas sketch. That
Is it the Knuckle Puck?
No.
Okay.
No. But it's so like he did this character a handful of times, probably 5, 6, 7 years ago. When they said it, I was like, no way. And I don't think anybody in the audience caught it because it's been so long since he did this character. And this character is so basic, but what he does with it, it's just silly. But they're off this week. April 4th is your next episode, which I thought was strange because that's Easter weekend, but it's Jack Black and Jack White. Why not?
And we already can see one of the bits coming from a mile away.
Yeah. Prime Video, Cross has been renewed for season 3.
I don't know why I have not started watching this show. Everybody I know who's seen it has said it's phenomenal.
And American Gladiators officially kicks off April 17th. I'm going to watch it.
I'm going to watch it too, but I can't stop giggling at all of the connective tissue here.
I'm ready for it because I love me some American Gladiators.
Well, you know who your host is.
Yeah, Miz. And Camille's in there and Wardlow's in there. And
Jesse Goddard is apparently your lead gladiator.
Oh, dear.
Exactly.
TV on DVD and Blu-ray this week. The Looney Tunes Collector's Vault Volume 2 on Blu-ray.
You already own it?
Well, I've got some of it. Volume 9 of Ruby and the complete limited series of the anime Scott Pilgrim Takes Off that Netflix did years ago. Right now, we want to talk about your health. We want to talk about aches and pains. Maybe you've got some sleepless nights. Maybe you're dealing with pain and anxiety. What if you could solve that and you could do it naturally? I mean, that sounds great. If you want to do that, the CBD House of Healing is here to help. It's a women-owned boutique. They specialize in only products made from their lab to meet their quality standards that are high. Because Summer Hansen, who is said owner, is a registered nurse. So she's not just going to give you something to give you something. She wants to build a trusted relationships with her clientele through education, because when you have the knowledge, you can care for yourself. And that is her goal. Self-care is the goal for the customers at CBD House of Healing. So you want that relief from that stress. You want that relief from the aches and the pains and the sleepless nights. CBDDallas.com. You can read it. It's right there. It's also at 8550 Plano Road, Suite 101. It's the corner of Plano Road and Northwest Highway. They've even got slushies, and the weather's starting to warm up. So get the healing that you need from the CBD House of Healing. And we thank CBD House of Healing for being a sponsor right here at a little place we like to call Sunset Lounge DFW. All right. Let us go on and talk a little movies. I didn't watch any new movies this week that I can't talk about until next week.
I apologize. I muted myself this time.
You did it this time. That wasn't me.
This one's on me. Well, there is a movie we can loosely talk about, but I feel like we would just want to direct people back to the clubhousepodcast.com/reviews.
And then we'll talk about when we get to new releases.
Exactly.
Trailer talk. I have seen the trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day.
As have I.
There's a lot going on here.
There is so much going on. But since we can't really spoil a trailer, with all of the depth, what's your favorite moment?
I need to watch it again because honestly, I'm worried.
Really?
I'm worried because there's so much going on.
That's a fair point.
It honestly concerns me because Spider-Man 3, anybody? And this is the third one of that series.
May I counterpoint with something I'm very positive about?
Please.
The dynamic as presented between Peter and Frank
Oh, yeah.
aka Spider-Man and the Punisher, because how did the Punisher first get brought in?
It was in Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
I
In
do
an anti-hero, basically, or a straight up villain.
I do appreciate that we actually now know what the letter said, because that's what the narration is him reading the letter he was going to give to MJ at the end of the set. I appreciate.
I don't know how I feel about it though.
I mean, I'm gonna see it.
Oh, absolutely.
But I'm also, again, I'm going to use the phrase I like to use for these things, cautiously optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
Then I saw the trailer for Dune Part 3. By the way, I had to watch both of those when the lovely and talented Mrs. Irvin wasn't home because
I know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Volumes. After seeing the trailer from Dune Part 3, all I could do is I got to go back and watch the first two again.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks gorgeous. I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be the fact that and Doomsday are the same day is a little frustrating.
Well, and the name's already baked in. It is Doomsday, so we don't have Barbenheimer.
And it's also the week before Christmas.
That is true.
So, I'm looking for now. They got their full trailer before Doomsday did, but I don't think Marvel's even worried about that. Marvel's like, yeah, they're like, you do you, boo.
I don't know that Doomsday's ever going to have a full trailer. I almost wonder if this is going to be an experiment for Marvel of just doing these teasers the whole way, and then maybe a sizzle reel of some kind over Thanksgiving, and then that's it.
I think you get a trailer at San Diego.
That's true. They haven't done it.
That's where you got
San
Downey.
Diego hasn't really been a thing for that in a while.
Downey.
Yeah, that's true. That is the announcement date or location too.
So, I did not get to watch the Oscars because it took me 7 hours to get home.
Yeah,
on Sunday night.
But
I don't know there's anything that surprised me from what I read.
There's one thing I want to focus on.
Okay.
Regardless of what you see, who won, or anything like that, everybody's involved is talent. But we know that they put the recognizable faces up towards the stage so that's who, oh, look who's here.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that isn't talked about as much is other people who are nominated are oftentimes put at tables based on the likelihood that they will need to be on stage. And for the first time, a woman won Best Cinematography.
I love this story.
And before her first name is over, Ryan Coogler from like the second row sprints to the back of the room and grabs her son so that he can be brought up to see his mother, the first woman to win Best Cinematographer at the Premiere Movie Awards, so that her son could be right up front and see his mother accepting the award. I don't need anything else. That's all I need to know about this Oscars, and I'm good.
There's one other thing that was pretty cool. Who won Best Original Song?
Yeah, that is.
Couch.
Well, that's
Couch.
Remember, they were Best Animated Feature too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the tour is on.
And Ray Ami still has not filed the restraining order, so there is that.
The only other headline I have, and this came down today, have you seen the Lanterns trailer yet?
I have not watched the full trailer, but remember, we've had this talk. I have a hard time getting interested in characters I wasn't previously interested in, so it's a little bit more difficult for me to care about the Lanterns because I am not a DC or Green Lantern guy outside of tangential to Batman. So
let me tell you, first and foremost, the casting on that is fantastic.
Oh, I know who's been cast in it, and I very much approve.
But let me also tell you, my friend, Aaron Pierre, who plays Jon Stewart, will be Jon Stewart in Man of Tomorrow.
Ah.
So he will be in the Superman sequel playing Jon Stewart, and I This is the most solid casting for Jon Stewart. Although, because I've been lobbying for about 25 years for it to be Common.
Yeah, you have.
But since time has passed and Father Time is undefeated, Aaron Pierre he's great for this. And
awesome.
I mean, both of them, perfect.
Well,
I'm ready for it.
Can the other one do no wrong?
Oh, gosh. I just... Is it Kyle Chandler? Did I get that right?
Yes, it is.
I just, watching that trailer, I'm like, yeah, this is, we had Marvel Weapon for Falcon and Winter Soldier. We now have DC Weapon. Diesel Weapon.
No. No, I want you to take that back.
Nope, it's out there now. Everything lives on the internet forever. Movie new releases and places we get movie new releases this week. The first movie that's getting released this week that we're going to talk about is a movie called Golden. This cast alone, let me just give you have you seen anything on this?
No, not at all.
In a world of betrayal and high stakes heists, a master counterfeiter faces ruthless criminals, a suspicious detective, and a deadly conspiracy. He battles greed, desire, and seduction to outwit his adversaries and escape with the gold. I'm going to bury the lead on this, because I thought I saw it. No, there's really only one name that jumps out at me. And I have 3 words for you. Brian Austin Green. Let's go.
If Cinemax were still a thing, that's where I think this would be going.
Well, I mean, it is.
Oh, sort of, but not in the way like I'm referring to. I'm giving this at least enough credence that I'm not calling it a sci-fi movie. And I mean SYFY.
This next movie doesn't even have a description on IMDb.
That's not a good sign.
It's just called The Hunting Club. This looks very reviving.
This is another one of those that you might as well just call it Atlantic Rim. They're literally just going back to the well. I think I've actually seen this trailer. And if it's what I think it is, you can absolutely skip it. But I'll take a look to be sure.
Yeah, I mean, it literally has no description on IMDb, and there's nobody in it that I recognize. We have an animated film coming out this week that we had the opportunity to screen, and I just ran out of time. It's called The Pout Pout Fish.
With Nick Swardson, yeah.
Two aquatic misfits embark on an impossible journey to save their home. Also in this, Miranda Otto, Amy Sedaris. Let's see, anybody else? Jordan Sparks, big fan. Bessie Holland. Those are the only other people I recognize. And then we have a movie that Don is going to be reviewing tonight called Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. I loved the first one. I'm very much looking forward to this one. It's always getting some mixed reviews. And Project Hail Mary finally arrives.
Yeah.
Alex and I have both seen it. We have been waiting for about 3 weeks to talk about it.
Yeah, let's acknowledge the fact that we saw this movie on the 4th.
Yeah, in IMAX.
Yes.
And I talk about in my review, currently located at www.theclubhousepodcast.com.
That's our website.
That there is a YouTube video out there that I want everybody to go check out that Lord and Miller did explaining the different film formats. And they sit in a theater representing everything from just your basic B-flat movie theater through 4DX, through XD, through XL, through IMAX, through Dolby Cinema, and all the things. It's a very cool explanation of the differences between the formats. It's slow. It's intentionally slow. It's gorgeous. But it's one of those films where it's like, I know this movie's 2.5 hours long because I've been here this long.
Yep.
I'm cool with it. So I think both of us can safely say we highly recommend this film.
Oh, this is going to be my leader in the clubhouse for a while. I'm not going to do the Don thing and say, oh, it's definitely, because anything could change. But this is so clearly my number one, and I don't see anything coming too soon that I think will beat it, because it is phenomenal. Borrowing what Rob was talking about, I mentioned in my review at www.theclubhousepodcast.com.
That's still our website.
I have never seen a movie that moves slowly that I didn't feel like it dragged. Because the pacing of this movie is a creature unto itself.
Yep.
With the emotions, with the tension, and everything that goes along with it. There's a reason I also say that they're going to use this to teach in film schools, because being able to do a slow movie that doesn't drag is pretty much one step short of sainthood in my mind.
You're not wrong. Movies on DVD and Blu-ray this week. One Don mentioned last week, Fackham Hall.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Blu-ray. Also, The History of Sound, which kind of came and went, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
A movie that I don't often say this, but it was just an accident, hits Blu-ray this week. It was one of my nominations for Best Foreign Film.
Same.
Don't buy it this week because Criterion's doing it in June. So we're getting 4Ks of A Bridge Too Far from back in the day. Hail Caesar, the George Clooney thing.
Okay.
And Uncommon Valor also getting a 4K. Arrow Video is doing a limited edition of the OG Red Sonja. We did a remake last year, which I've heard was very good, but it just got away from me. Radiance, which is another boutique label that does a very more obscure like horror and foreign films. They've got Agitator, Cutter's Way, and The Dancing Hawk. And Criterion Collection this week releases their 4K of Killers of the Flower Moon. And now we would like to...
I need them to announce when K-pop's happening.
I did look that up. They haven't said anything. I would expect that to...
That's what I mean. I need them to tell me when.
I need it to be in July because that's when the sale is.
That's a great point.
And now, please listen to our leader.
Hello, it's Mike Reiner of Your Dark Companion here. Let me ask you, are you looking for something to fill the long, dead air hours of your day? Well, join the Sunset Lounge DFW and Your Dark Companion on patreon.com, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. Replace those sad, slow hours with sports, pop culture, music woven into interesting conversations. So step inside the green door, have a seat at the bar, and get in the groove with those shows and so very much more.
Speaking of Sunset Lounge DFW, we want to let you know that Stolen Water Media is making a move. After 2 years, it's time to change because we got to be able to keep up with our growth. You can continue to view all 8 of our podcasts on our Patreon pages, but now you can get all of these episodes at www.stolenwatermedia.com. That's right. All of the Stolen Water Media productions, whether it's Your Dark Companion, whether it's Just Wondering with Norm Hitzkiss, Al Maximo, Beer 30 Sports O'Clock, our show, The Angle, Signal 51 Chronicles, and Sunset Soccer Club are going to be available on our website. This is a developing story, but you can begin watching and listening now. So bookmark stolenwatermedia.com in your browser. You'll be able to continue to find all the audio wherever you find your favorite podcasts, and some places you may have never even heard of. Yeah, and you can continue to support us in all of our successes. We do feel and appreciate all the love you guys send us. So stick with us. We're going to make this move. It's already starting to happen. And as always, please leave us a review and rate us wherever you follow us. Share us on social media. Recommend us to your family and friends, even people that you don't like. Recommend us to there too. We cannot thank you guys for all the support you've given this show and all the shows on the network for as long as we've been around. I've seen the website today. It's awesome. And it's going to be so easy to use, and it's going to be growing exponentially. I had a great talk with Becca today. We talked for about an hour on some ideas that we were kicking around. So, get on board, man, because this is what we do. Anything you want to add, Alex?
I'm just excited to see what's going forward because we keep growing and we keep getting more.
And now, this. The Cheap Podcast is the other half of this show, as I think the video just got stuck. That was weird. The video just got stuck.
Hey, you know what? At least it had the full name up.
That's fair. As we talk about the world of professional wrestling, and we start with a headline out of MLW, one of our personal favorites, Hammerstone out with a knee injury.
Yeah, he seems to keep getting hurt, but Alex finds his way back, and he's always Meat Mountain Muscle Man.
We like him. So, TNA has announced that Candice Michelle is working in a backstage role with them now.
I did see that. She also just recently had an interview with, I want to say, Chris Van Fleet.
That dude does good work.
Him and Sean Ross Sapp are all over the place now.
The only note I have from Impact is enter Allie.
Well, what else?
They've worked into this Rosemary bit. Okay.
Well, remember the last time she was in TNA, I believe she was the Demon Bunny with Rosemary.
Yeah.
So it's not like there isn't a precedent.
I mean, I do love me some Allie. Don't get me wrong.
Well, but the other note that we have there is that we have other friend of the show, Steve Macklin, back.
Mm-hmm. Which he said in an interview the other day, they reinstated him in Angle before he re-signed the contract. So,
yeah.
And Allie was one of the top 3 people I just ran into randomly on the cruise more than anybody else.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, she was. WWE news: Santos Escobar got injured over the weekend. He did a video from his hospital room, said he's having the surgery. He'll be back soon. We want to send our best because we're a big fan of him.
And the whole family.
Yeah. Congratulations to Eric and Sarah Rowe. They're expecting their 3rd child later this year. So
we know what he's been up to.
Yeah. The ban in Vegas may have been lifted.
Allegedly, it has, at least at one venue I know of.
And that would be Stadium Swim.
Yes, it is.
So if you've never seen Stadium Swim, that place is amazing. I would get a little pruny because I would be in the pool too long because I'd just be watching stuff.
It might be my least favorite place in Circa.
Really?
But that's how much I love Circa, to be honest with you.
Great.
But Stadium Swim is very cool to look at. But the prime during the day, it's too hot. I'm not getting in a cabana. I'm not getting in the pool. I'm going inside. I'm having a beer, and I'm watching a game in the stadium book.
But apparently other venues are starting to now say that they're getting the ban lifted as well. It was a bad idea to begin with. I think they probably learned that from Chicago.
Yep.
Given that a lot of things in Vegas happen, especially wherever you are in Mania Week, a lot of things happen, and you want to be able to, I don't want to say cater to, but you want to be able to take care of your fan base. That's all I'm saying.
Well, there's another interesting thing to this that has kind of been flying under the radar. I was very grateful to be a guest of Game Changer Wrestling in the Collective last year. Did you see the change for that?
I saw an ad today on a Wrestling with Regret video that they're working with JCW.
Well, as part of the Collective, which is normally done every Mania weekend, they are no longer at the Palms, which was such a successful venue for them. The Palms did good enough business. Allegedly, they asked for more money. So they said, that's cool. There's a section of Vegas that's way more affordable, especially for our talent and our people coming in. So we're going to be down on Fremont at the Horseshoe.
That was I didn't realize that was a change in the announcement. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And interestingly enough, the Palms is trying to counterpoint with a different set of wrestling, and we're going to see how that goes because the Pearl is a phenomenal venue.
And speaking of Fremont, I think they're almost done with the episodes of WoW they taped there in October. So, SmackDown Why? I didn't understand. You had Jelly Roll come out to Toby Keith's music, and my first thought was that an unrecognized part of the curse on Miz?
No.
Okay.
No, it wasn't unrecognized.
Your current rumor is him and Kit. It'll be him versus Kit Wilson, or it'll be a tag with Kit Wilson and Miz versus him and Royce Keys.
That is the prevailing rumor I have heard, to the point where there has allegedly already been merch or teasing merch leaked of Rolls Royce.
Right. But what have we learned this year about WWE? They love to troll, because remember what they did overseas with the video testing.
Yeah, there is that.
Just saying. Tiffany pushing Chelsea out of the frame kind of broke me.
That got me pretty good, yeah.
It giggled me. And we may have had a first in wrestling history.
Go on.
The table in the ring survived the contract signing.
We say this every time it happens. It is not the first time.
Okay.
But
I was like,
we have mentioned it. It is a rarity, but it has happened a few times.
Rumor is now Braun Breaker could be back for Mania.
I don't think it'd be anything more than a one-off.
Right. I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
They're saying that he could be, like, he can't go, but he could be passable, which is insane.
So what you're saying is he's a genetic freak.
I mean, it's in his genes.
That was a long pause. That felt awkward.
There's some kind of weird delay going on right now, and I can't place it. So,
gotcha.
I watched Raw yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Commercials were gone. So apparently 2 days is how long you got to wait.
Gotcha.
And it wasn't even skipped. They weren't there. The total runtime was like right at an hour and a half.
That definitely felt like a weird episode of Raw, though.
It did.
But I loved one particular moment, because I have been calling for the Brock Oba fight. But did you notice that you can tell exactly the moment it hits Oba, how grand this moment is?
Oh, I've seen so many angles of that for him, Brock, and Seth. And I loved all of it.
I mean, the tears.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so... It's one of those times where it's like, yeah, you make fun of murder gymnastics all you want. That's real emotion. That's real cinema.
But still with the plethora of masked men?
I hate it so much. And it makes it even worse that now I no longer care what's happening. My response, and I'm going to apologize to a lot of the American population here, but every time this happens, I just go, ooh, where's the fat one?
Well, I just want him to use that in a sentence. I'm going to go, would you say that I have a plethora of masked men? Just once. Just one, Seth. That's all I want. From Iowan to Iowan. Help a brother out. I understand that we're trying to get face heat for OGA. But saying he's from the Gulf of America, I don't think that's doing that for him.
Well, but that's the crazy thing. They are booking them completely opposite depending on which side of the border they're on. Because Gable Americano is being booked to placate to redneck right wing north of the border, and they're making Kaiser Americano look ridiculous. But then you switch it to Mexico, and I want you to think about this. Gable Americano stole Kaiser Americano's spot in the Rey de Reyes tournament, okay? And they told the story, like, because you know they love wrestling companies love bringing in legends to give some gravitas. Did you see how Kaiser Americano got back into the tournament?
I've only seen little clips from that show because I had on.
He had to avenge the legend Pimpinella Escarlata. And they had a whole telenovela scene with Pimpy on the gurney, strapped up, holding hands with Kaiser. And you know he does it like this, holding hands and talking about how he will avenge her. And that's how we get here. It's the work that they are doing with Kaiser Americano in Mexico is some of the most brilliant stuff. And it's really the reason to go watch AAA right now, outside of some amazing talent across the board in that company. But what they're doing with Kaiser Americano, to the point where he might literally be the biggest face attraction in Mexico right now. And I am not exaggerating. That's how over this is.
And how much longer till we just put the Creeds under masks to counter the other two? We got to do something.
Well, so you're going to have Gable Americano and his Golfos, and you're going to have Kaiser Americano with Rayo and Bravo.
Exactly.
And the part that makes me really entertained by this is the original Americanos are actually American.
Yeah. The Usos Roman thing felt forced. Something didn't feel right about that.
Remember the old joke from a movie we referred to with Bridget Wilson Sampras? How you doing? Called Love Stinks.
Mm-hmm.
There is a joke in that feels like WWE to me right now. It's, oh yeah, we'll get a couple of episodes in the can, then we'll just check old TV guides. That's what that felt like to me. Yeah. Was like, oh, we found this script from 2 years ago. Yeah, nobody remembers it. Just do this again.
I don't want Randy's friend to be Rick. But I've also heard rumors, like, I think it's Bully Ray is pitching it to be Charlotte, which I don't like either. Sign in the crowd, Gunther retire Jerry Jones, made me giggle.
I laughed very heartily at that, especially when you realize that was San Antonio. That was a ways down the road.
Well, he owns that town too.
Oh, he owns the state just about outside of Houston.
I want to talk about the ending for a minute because I read something today. I don't say this often, and I don't care who it was, but I want to say thank you to the person that nixed a piece of that script. Because I never saw who did it, who nixed it, but I appreciate it.
Allegedly, it wasn't nixed in the script. Allegedly, they both were feeling odd about how dark this material was going, which is why Punk jumped the gun at old, and everybody's reaction was kind of like, why would he lose his stuff there? Because he knows what's coming. That was the cutoff.
Right.
Allegedly, that was Punk and Roman saying, just hit me on old.
And for those that don't know, that was going to get real personal. If you know anything about Punk and his wife, the original script had lines about something else.
Face.
I know.
Look at my face.
Hear me.
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them.
Yeah. So
this.
Thank you, gentlemen, for, it was a little weird on the other side of that a couple of weeks ago, but you can say what you want either side of those two. Those two understand the business, and those two truly, and it's like everybody talking about this whole thing with Drew and Cody. They're best friends, guys.
They're good friends. They're very good friends. Yeah.
I mean, all of these guys really do get along. Remember, show. So,
and let's also clarify that one of the lines Punk said about babysitting Lance is not fiction.
Yeah.
And if you need to know who Lance is, I'll give you a hint. Roman's last name is Anawai too.
I ain't calling you Joe. And I'm like, oh no, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. And I was like, oh, he did it. Evil is still in talks, but I read today he wants to go to NXT.
Well, and it's very interesting on that because there is some alleged discussion that they're wondering if certain other talent who have come across have talked to Evil beforehand saying, no, this is not the strong style you're used to. And even Shinsuke, who God of Japan wrestling, Shinsuke was like going to NXT was the right thing for me, because otherwise I was going to kick a dude's head off.
That exchange between him and Tonga on SmackDown was awesome.
Tama?
Was it Tama it was Tama Tonga that he had to, or was it Tonga Loa?
I believe.
I
thought it was Tama. He's been working with Tama lately.
Okay.
The problem with that one is you have Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, so it gets a little confusing.
Yeah. That's why I just almost, Tonga, so
you know what? We're just going to use Tonga and Straddle. We're just going to say Tonga and Straddle. Got it.
Aaron Rourke is your new Evolve champion. Congratulations.
Very, very cool note on that one. We knew this was coming. We didn't necessarily know who. I'm not going to step on it. Do you have the other piece of this?
I do, but go ahead.
He is now the second openly gay champion in the history of WWE. And somebody might say, well, what about Pat Patterson? You have to remember, he may have been open with the people he worked with, but he was not out.
Yep.
Darren Young, 2015, in case you're wondering. That's the other one.
In the opening match for the women's title, there was a bit of a scary moment.
Yeah.
I want to send a shout out to Fatal Influence for making the adjustment when Saul didn't quite get the backflip over the rope, and she miscalculated. And shout out to Fatal Influence for the awareness.
Mm-hmm.
They got there and saved it. It was Booker T Appreciation Night, but can't we just leave a tender moment alone? Because I've heard rumors about where this is going, and I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
So you have new speed champion Ren Sinclair. But what
happy for her.
What I thought was funny, didn't say what city she was from, because where were they? Dallas and Houston aren't exactly friends.
I really hate that I'm going to say this. I really hate that I'm going to have to say this, Rob, but you just got garbled and none of that came through.
Okay, so Ren Sinclair wins the speed title.
Right.
They introduce her as from Texas.
Because I know why that was.
I'm like, she's from here, kids. Recognize.
You better put some respect on Maddie's name.
That's right. Revolution was a thing.
It was a good show. It was
I saw a lot of people raving about it the next day. Was it another 11 o'clock finish?
It might have been even later, but for a Sunday, it felt even more so. But it didn't end very late. It didn't end as late as other ones. I will say that. It felt like it ended earlier. There was better timing to it. But still, a whole lot of matches that don't need to be on a pay-per-view. But I'm going to say something. And I'm going to posit it with a question.
Okay.
Based on percentage correct of who wins, what would you say that you or I or anybody that does this would probably come around by predicting winners?
Probably 60-70% on the average.
I think I got one right.
Oh, wow. Because you have your new national champion in Jack Perry.
I did not realize that was for the title. I thought that was for a shot at the title. So, yeah, I thought Jack Perry was going to win. But when he had the title, I was like, oh, that went further.
Yeah, I saw the picture from the post press conference. I went, oh, okay.
Yeah.
New women's tag champs in Mega Cross.
I got that one right.
Ronda Rousey ? Like, I know this is that Netflix fight, but
here's what's really funny about that. She comes out and gets into the ring. Somebody says, "Oh my God, it's Ronda Rousey," and literally nothing happens. And then the attitude starts, and she's pointing in the ring, and Tony Storm's like, fine, I know how to do this, even if you don't.
I felt bad for Roddy because on Dynamite last night, you heard Marina Shafir yell, "I don't need a man." I'm like, well, you're married to one.
Well, it's a need versus a want. I always prefer to be wanted.
We had the return of Ospreay.
Yes, we did. And oh man, I was nervous when he came out because it was so soon after the fusion surgery. Surgery. I said it right. But when he hit a corkscrew moonsault out of nowhere to the outside, I was like, oh, please don't die.
Paige loses. The word is he's taking some time off. But now we're saying the stipulation was a gentleman's agreement. I don't know what you were looking at. It looks like
the VCU final score.
So VCU gets the upset over UNC.
Mhm.
Edge
That
and
went to
Cage
OT.
back, or Cope and Cage, or however they're calling themselves.
Cage and Cope, because Christian insists on being first.
Oh, it's alphabetical.
Well, did you see the shirt?
He had a jacket that showed me a little bit, but I couldn't see it.
So it was on full display on Revolution, but the shirt says Cope and Cage, and then it scratches it out and writes Cage up at the top. It's perfect.
They showed up at the end of Dynamite last night, and they've said, nothing. We respect the Young Bucks, but we're going after the tag titles because we need to take away from FTR what they love. And Christian goes, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm here because there's a lot more money involved if we get the titles. Like
he is so great. He really is. Is Cage the most underrated professional wrestler of all time?
Well, it could be, but I think that he didn't even talk until like the last 30 seconds. I'm like, so is this Cope and Silent J? Is that what we're doing here? Because
I hate you so much right now.
You're welcome, internet.
Oh, you son of a... Oh, please explain that for people.
I'm a comedic genius. If you don't know, I'm not going to explain it, and you can find out for yourself.
Please tell them why I'm so mad at you.
Because you didn't come up with it. That's why.
Oh, no. Well, yeah, that's part of it. But I mean, I hate that I didn't come up with it because it's so perfect. It so perfectly lands the bird.
And it hit me right in the middle of the promo. I'm like, that's going on the show.
I hate you so much.
Dynasty now set for April 12th, the week after Easter. And the weekend before.
The week before Mania?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you'll have Stand and Deliver, then you'll have Dynasty, then you'll have Mania. And you've got Rebellion next Friday night. So it's going to be full throttle. I mean, the Super Card of Honor is going to be in there somewhere too. Remember that this week and next week, Collision is split an hour on Saturday and an hour on Sunday. So be prepared for that. And allegedly at the tapings, Josh Alexander got injured.
Oh, Josh.
The only other note I have from Dynamite, do we need Swerve as the EVP?
No.
That's the stipulation for his match with
No. And I get it, but we don't need it.
Pre-show. That's why I'm stating it now. Because I don't know what you know from last night and what you don't.
I don't know that one.
So he versus Kenny Omega. It's number one contendership versus EVP title.
So if Kenny wins, he becomes
Dynamite.
the number one contender.
Right.
If Swerve wins, he's still the number one contender, but he becomes the EVP.
Right. And that's going to be on Dynamite. So
I mean, they continue to put on great matches on free TV, which baffles me. But at the same time, I guess they need to pay Big Boom AJ and QT Marshall.
So,
and for the record, Shane Taylor now in the good graces after the whole Rizzler thing,
and getting slapped in the face by Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady took the worst of that, by the way.
I saw the clip. And shout out to Dallas's own Maya World, who came up through Reality of Wrestling and through MPX. She is the first person to go the full 10 minutes in a proving ground match with Athena, so she gets a shot.
Also known as La Maya Mundo.
So respect. And her and Hyena are a great tag team.
They are great talents. I feel like I'm using phenomenal too much tonight, but they are really, really, really talented, and I cannot wait to see how far they climb.
Anything else you want to talk about?
I think we've hit it right on the 90 minutes.
All right. There's a QR code right above me now. It's above me this week.
It's so weird. It's my fault. It's all my fault.
So get all of our social medias from that. Remember, bookmark stolenwatermedia.com in your browser. Go start looking around. There's already stuff for all the shows. We're going to have very soon. You're going to be able to get our entire archive. So if you want to go back to day one, first of all, God bless you. Yeah. Secondly, you're going to be able to have access to almost every episode we've ever done. Almost. That's coming soon. There's so much cool stuff coming soon. So thank you to all of our Patreons for supporting the show. You can follow me on your social medias. Everything is Yes That Rob Irvin. That is spelled ERVIN.
I'm Vexploit on all social medias. If you want to help out the show, please take a look at this scrolling across the bottom and go to prowrestlingtees.com. Search for the Cheap Podcast. We got a bunch of different shirt options within there, along with different color options within those shirts. And if you have a design, maybe from a comic book, that you want to send to us to put on some merch, you will get 100% of the proceeds of every shirt sold.
The official fact checker of Sooner Gator Productions is Don Ford. You can follow him on X Twitter at Igbunu, IGBUNUUU. Also, if you want us to come do a live show at your establishment, we love doing live remote shows and hanging out with the Empire. Email him, Don at theclubhousepodcast.com. You can email me questions, comments, concerns. Tell me to go pound sand. I am Rob at theclubhousepodcast.com. Charlotte Marshall is on Pinterest because we're morally obligated to say that. Our normal show every Thursday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, your one-stop shop for all things sports, entertainment, pop culture, pro wrestling. It's what we do. It's what we've done for almost 2 decades. Weird to say that. So until next week, for Alex, for Don, for the Empire, I'm Rob. Clubhouse is closed. Bernie Palmer, just looking for some updates, man. Tell us what you're up to.
This is a Stolen Water Media production.